A Very Country Christmas Homecoming is definitely an enjoyable film. This follows on from the first film, A Very Country Christmas, and the second film, A Very Country Wedding. And I won't spoil anything that happens in this film, but obviously there will be spoilers for things that happen after the fact with the previous two films. This one was released in 2020. It's written by Keith Cooper, based on the story by Karen Rose Smith. It's directed by Marco Deufemia, and I apologise if I've mispronounced that. And we have a cast including Greyston Holt as Zane, we have Bea Santos as Jeannette, and we have Deana Carter, Rob Stewart, Allison Hossack, and Raven Stewart. And I found this to be quite delightful. This is about, of course, Zane and Jeannette, and they are now ready to spend their first Christmas together as a family. This is a very festive film. It definitely could get you into the Christmas spirit. And then Jeanette's former father-in-law arrives. Of course, her father-in-law is the grandfather to her daughter, so that's kind of why that makes sense. And obviously that's really nice that he gets to spend time with Quinn, and those scenes are really lovely. Quinn is a really likeable character, but obviously it's going to make things a little bit interesting when somebody just turns up around Christmas time. And I think the family dynamic is really interesting to witness. The narrative itself is maybe not the most fascinating, and to be honest, I felt this with the previous film, A Very Country Wedding. The overarching narrative I liked, but the specifics of the narrative were not the most interesting, and that's kind of the case here as well. I like seeing the characters in the next phase of their life, in the next phase of their relationship, getting ready for Christmas, and the Christmas aspect is brilliant, but the story itself, it's okay, it's fine, and I enjoy following Zane and Jeanette's story, but the narrative, I think, could have been a little bit more interesting. I don't know what I would have wanted instead, but I think if they'd maybe taken a different direction, it could have just been a little better. But we do have some great characters, great performances, and as I said, it's very, very festive. We have some really gorgeous festive costumes. We have some variety in what's happening. There's a nice variety to keep it a little bit more engaging. Visually, it's absolutely stunning. It's a very pleasant experience with a very believable family dynamic, and is a nice way to round off the trilogy. I assume there are no more. I'm not aware of a fourth film. Would I want there to be a fourth film? I feel like I'm satisfied with Zane and Jeanette's experience. If there is a fourth film that I'm not aware of, I will watch it, but this is a really nice way to wrap things up. And in general, while the narrative isn't necessarily the strongest, if you've enjoyed following Zane and Jeanette's story, then it's still a pleasant experience. And again, a festive film that can definitely help get into the Christmas spirit. All things considered, A Very Country Christmas Homecoming is a nice, pleasant, festive film. And if you've enjoyed the previous two, if you're keen to see what's in store for Zane and Jeanette, then I'd say it's worth watching.